What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today is going to be the last part for the beginner's guide series for the normal raids, and the last raid is the East raid. So setup is the same for the two weapons. For armor, I'd say if you need more accuracy to hit the boss, you can use the Clothes of Tranquility that we just got from the previous raid, the West raid. So you can use that for dex if you need more accuracy. Same thing right here, Spirit Artisan Collar for dex. And right here, I'm going to be using the Ring of Tranquility with Bulwark. If you most likely won't have this before you do the East raid, unless you just get extremely lucky, or if you just stay at the West raid and farm there. But you don't need this. If you don't have this, you can still use the Slaughter Belt with the Rising Spirit, just like I was using in the other three raid videos. But for me, I'm going to be using this. Skills are the exact same as well, except I did change the AoE from the West raid off, so I put Evil God Bloodline for more strength, and I changed the EX skill back to Berserker. As for buffs, same, Galvanize for Super Art, Bulwark for the 10% in all stats, Billion Blossom to keep the skill connect, and God Robe in case you want to play it safe and, you know, be able to take a hit while not taking damage. Custom stills still the same, Shine Circular with down damage with Steel Riding, and then I'm stacking this with the Ring of Tranquility. Final Revolution is Hazard. Pretty much White Mist with Unfreezing, Slaughter Belt as well. Nightmare Rain is Hazard, Slaughter Belt. Starburst is going to be our second down damage skill with Steel Riding and Slaughter Belt. As for records, still the same. Pretty much always Uptight. This is pretty much the animal you're pretty much mostly going to use throughout the entirety of this game, most likely, unless they add something better. And for Persona, I'm using Prodigy since I have more than enough accuracy for the normal raids, so I don't need Nimble. If you do need more accuracy, I do suggest you pick up Nimble. This Persona right here, because it'll increase your accuracy further. And if you also need more accuracy as well, you can change, you know, Evil God Bloodline. You could put Hawkeye right there, or, you know, mostly just Hawkeye. If you ever need only one accuracy passive right here, go for Hawkeye, because it gives you 10%. And that's pretty much the setup for my character. Philia, I changed some stuff with her now because we just completed the West raid. I put the Vein Shredder on her for the combat skill for crit rate plus 50% and critical power 50%. And I threw this on her. You don't need this at all. I'm just putting this on for me. Wood Ornament Belt for Firebolt Plus. You can get this from Loaded Mountains from a mob drop. So you kill a thorn bug that's there, and it has a chance to drop this. You don't need this. I'm just putting this on for me. And then I'm also using a Ring of Tranquility on her as well, because you can stack the Bulwark buff, so you can use more than one. As for Liz, everything is still the same. I was debating on putting the Guardian Dragon armor on her right here, which is what you get from a Divine Beast, but I decided not to keep it more simple. So all I added for her was the Forgotten Ring from the South raid, and that's just with high vitality since she's our tank. Also forgot to mention that with a incarnation you can use one of the incarnations that's really good for a tank, and that's going to be the Mythic of Rebirth. So this right here is perfect for a tank because they get healing received plus 100%, 20% max HP, and 1% HP regen. So they're always going to be regenning, and you can also use a Luminous level 1 Sacred Art to put more regen on, and they're pretty much practically going to heal that damage off that they took almost instantly, really. So this is really good for a tank. You can get this from a chest in the North raid, I believe. And then you can also get this from a clamp cluster up in Crest Cove. Oh, also for skills, same thing as usual, just max HP, vitality, and then healing received and HP regen right there. As for Shayta, Shayta's the exact same as well too. I think this will still be good for Shayta. For this slot right here, you can kind of put whatever you want. You could also, like if you ever get really lucky, you could put another bulwark right here. And then make her also, you know, share that as well. But most likely you probably won't have another bulwark. The best you can get is probably only one, depending on how lucky you are with RNG. But for this slot right here, I guess you can just really put anything. But for me, this is gonna be pretty much it for what I can use on her. That's good enough. So that's pretty much it for the build, and yeah, let's get into the raid. So for East Raid, there is a lot of stuff for this. And what I mean by that is the layout can be confusing, but it's pretty much the fastest raid you can run through. Out of all the raids, East Raid is the fastest raid you can run through because you don't have to do any side parts up in it to progress. You can literally just run straight to the boss's door, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you all the chest locations which you can get out of them, and there's also a gimmick to this raid where there's crystals that spawn throughout the raid and you can destroy them to reduce the boss's max level. So immediately when you start, there's one right here. And it'll play a cutscene. One little trick with this cutscene is if you are a bow user, if you can kill this crystal fast enough, then you can pretty much skip this cutscene. You'll just have to stay back like around right here. You don't want to step up here to trigger that cutscene, but you can do that. So just destroy the crystal. As you probably saw right over there, up that little crystal pathway, you probably saw the golem. He walks up there. He'll walk up there and then walk back down and walk all the way over to that side. But that's the first crystal. You can also come up here and there'll be another crystal right up here. Right over there in that corner. And this is mostly if you really need to reduce the boss's level to really help you out. I probably suggest if it's your first time doing this, probably destroy all the crystals. But if you're good enough with the build and feel comfortable, you should be able to take it out without it. Only thing that'll probably be standing in your way really is accuracy, depending on your level and depending on your weapon's proficiency and what your bond level is, but that's about it really. But after you take that out, you can head down in this location. And there should be a chest right over here. I kind of get confused with this one since it's a weird layout. But I believe it's over in this direction. Yep, so come right here. And you don't have to kill those guys over there. Just kill this one. You only need to kill this one just to open the chest. And there we go. So chest is right here. and you get a accessory from this chest, the Lilac waistcloth. Now this right here is really good for a tank user. And here it is. So this is what it can come with: vitality and agility, and its passive is vitality plus 10%. So if you can get lucky enough and get one of these, I'd say if you just get one of these in general, go ahead and put it on your tank character. But if you can get one with really high vitality and get the passive on it as well, that's a really big increase for their HP and their defense. So next chest you can get is pretty much right there. You don't have to use Win 1, I'm just using it. But you just kill these bats right here. And I'd say if you really just want to play the raid safely, you can also use one of these Spear's passives. This chest you get greenstone, you can get that every time. But if you want to really play it safe with these raids, you can use the Spear's passive, Agile Flurry, which makes it to where your normal attacks do a lot of damage. If you do that, don't put it on the combo finish, because the combo finish, it won't apply to the combo finish, since that'll be a sword skill. But you can use that. So after that, you can come right over here, and this is pretty much just these three general chests right here are pretty much just in the exact same area, just about. So kill these guys and you'll be able to open this chest. And there we go. So from this chest, you get Yin Yang Incarnation. There's probably 2 other incarnations from this. I'll put them in captions above as well. But Yin Yang Incarnation will pretty much give you delay time minus 20%, so pretty much just reduces the cooldown on your sword skills, if that makes sense, because you'll notice whenever you use a sword skill, it has like a little timer on it to come back. Kind of like that. You probably saw it for a split second, that yellow. But that's pretty much what that is. So you can just jump back down here, come down this staircase, and then come out and just head over to the right. And this brings us pretty much out in the beginning where we killed that first crystal, just right over there, and that pathway that leads up where the golem walks. This is just to the right of that. And as you can see, Golem is right here. He's going to walk back and go all the way up that path again. So next chest you can get is down here. Actually right here. Just kill these guys. I believe this chest is just not incarnations, but I believe this is just materials. But these next 2 chests that are coming down in this area, these are probably the chests that you will mostly want to open throughout this whole raid. Because the items from them are really good. So open this chest. And you get a melted slate, so yeah, that's just for materials. So down here, you just drop down. And right up this ledge, you can use wind level 1, you can use steel 1 and put a block right there to jump up, but I just use wind level 1. And you want to fight this slug right here. So I'm going to go ahead and buff just to kill him faster. And there we go. So come over here, make sure you do not drop down there because you will also need to fight that guy for a chest that's right there. So just come over this pathway right here and you can open this chest. Now what you get from this is Abyssal Gauntlets, and this is one of the best normal raid accessories in the game because what this has is strength and agility, and the passive is rising spirit as well. So once you can get 2 of these with some pretty good strength and agility and rising spirit, you can stack 2 of these, and this is something I'd recommend you farm for starting out as well. But this is really good for dual wield users because dual wield skills mostly use strength and agility. But after that you can drop down and go fight that guy. I'm also going to buff with Filio real quick. But you can just drop down and go fight him. If you want to feel extra safe, you can go ahead and heal before you fight this guy. And watch out for that jump attack right there because it can do damage to you. He always does that whenever the fight starts. He'll just jump forward. And as you probably noticed right there, I filled up his whole hazard gauge, but it didn't hazard him. It pretty much glitched out. So that can be something that can happen in the game as well. Now this guy is really tanky. Usually with some of these frog bosses or whatever, they're pretty tanky. So go ahead and finish him off. There we go. And this chest right here, you can get one of 2 armors. You can either get the clothes or the armor. So open it, and I got the Arachna armor. So what the Arachna armor has for it is strength and dex. The combat skill on it is Falcon Fist, wrist points plus 20%, hazard break time plus 75%, hazard gauge plus 1. The passive is ruled by strong, wrist points plus 100%. And this is one of the best dex armors in the game you can get if you're looking for something with dex and strength. This is pretty much the armor you would want to go for. This armor and the armor in the West Raid, the Aberrant armor, are pretty much really good dex armors to have, depending on the weapon type as well. For me personally, I prefer the Arachna armor more because it has strength and strength is better, but that's just what I prefer. But pretty much this is what you can get, and then the clothes you can get is going to be the Abyssal clothes, and that gives you just strength and then special accuracy. Combat skill on it is Demonic Archer, Paralyze, reduced movement plus 30%, special accuracy plus 15%, and attack minus 10%. So that's what you can get from that chest right there. I would say definitely farm that. If you don't feel like using the Clothes of Tranquility, you can definitely try to farm for a good Arachna armor. But with Clothes of Tranquility, you will have more dex overall though, since the dex stat on that can just go way higher. Well, not even way higher, it's only by like 2 more points. But you'll most likely have a better Clothes of Tranquility than an Arachna armor anytime soon. But when you go back up that staircase and go right over here, you'll find the next crystal. You can just take that out, turn over here, And this is the area we saw before, right before we took that entranceway to go down there. And over here, you can actually fight a pink golem to open a chest. Go ahead and take him out. And you can get some pretty good materials from him, like right there, Meld Slate and Diaslate. You'll need those for +5 in your gear. But you get Lilac Greaves from this. And the boots, they're farther up, I believe. Yep, right here. So Lilac Greaves right here, it just comes with straight agility and crit. And the passive it can come with is Indomitable Spirit, and that gives you Paralysis Resist +20 and Soul Resist +20. So this, I've never actually used this as an item because it's only straight agility, which not really needed. So I'd say if you're just mostly a person who collects, or maybe who just wants to use it and try it for themselves, you know, you can get it. Now another thing you can do is going down here. This is going down further into the raid and pretty much where you'll want to go. But also up this pathway you can go and destroy another crystal that's right up there. So from here, you can destroy this crystal, and after this one right here, there is only one more to destroy. So there we go. And you just pretty much head back down. So come over in this direction and you will find the last crystal, which is right here. And that's all the crystals. So after that, you can just walk straight down here. And this will just lead you straight to the boss's door. Now after I fight the boss and everything, I will show you a route that you can take to just come straight here. If you're able to kill the boss easily, I'll just show you the pretty much the quickest route to come straight down here. If you're speed farming gear down here. Alright, so once you're through there, I suggest you buff out here, because whenever you get down to that staircase right there, there'll be a pretty much a prompt that will come up to where you can continue to go down there. So I suggest you buff here. So go ahead and do that. Get the buffs from Philia. And switch back to Shayta so we can just mind break him. Again, if you can't mind break him, you can put Venomous Curse on, and that'll make it to where you can at least hazard him faster. Plus, it'll do some poison damage, which I tried it in game, and poison doesn't do a lot compared to as how much damage you can do with poison up in Hollow Fragment, but yeah. It'll at least do some damage to it. Go ahead. Mind Break actually missed. I believe I'm on a harder difficulty actually. Either that or Shayta just doesn't have enough accuracy for that Mind Break right there. But go ahead, finish him off. And that's pretty much it for that. Like I said, that stuff looks easy compared to probably what you could do because, like I said, practice with this build, get to know it, you know, you can use whatever weapon you want really. Use whatever you feel comfortable with and have fun with. You don't have to use, you know, dual wield for everything really. You can pretty much make do with anything as long as you have the accuracy to hit. But open up the chest, and I got the Abyssal Ring. So this is a really good ring you can actually get from this chest that you will want to farm for as well for whenever you go into extreme raids. Then I'll show all the other items you can get from the chest, but first let me see what difficulty I was on. Okay, so yeah, I was on Death Game difficulty. So his level was a lot higher than what it would be on normal mode. So everything there was higher than what they would be, so those levels are not the normal levels. But anyway, got the Abyssal Ring, and this is it right here. It comes with Strength, Dex, some Crit, and mainly you want to farm this for some high Strength and high Dex, because you want a lot of strength to boost your damage and you want dex for the accuracy. And then for your debuffing characters, you want this skill, Wits End. This will put a mob's risk, it'll make the mob's risk go up to 6.0 maximum, and the higher the mob's risk, the more damage that they take. So this is really good for debuffing characters. This skill requires special accuracy. If you do plan on doing extreme raids, I suggest go start from the beginning of the North Extreme Raid guide that I have, and I pretty much explain this skill, and you'll see how it works up in that video on the boss. But that's what you can get for the ring in that raid. Now, as for weapons, pretty much what you can get is there's a whip there, the Sacred Inferno. This comes with vitality and agility. Combat skill is Judgment Hammer, broken and fatal state, attack plus 40%, downed plus 40%. So this could be something you could share if say like you're using Eldrie as your buffing character, because if you can get one of these, you can use that instead of the Burning Blade, but I'd rather go with the Burning Blade, really, because that will at least last longer than this one. So, then passive is special accuracy plus 15%. So you could use this with Eldrie if you want to use him as your wits user if you wanted to. Next thing you can get there is a Katana, Dragon Star, Strength and Agility, and comes with some crit. Combat skill is delay time minus 50%, and passive skill is occasional SP cost minus 50%. Really hard hitting Katana, but I think the Carapace Blossom with Killing Blow can hit harder than this. I haven't tested between these two, but this one is definitely good. If you do prefer this one over Carapace Blossom, then yeah, definitely a really good one right here. Another thing you can get is the right down here, the two-hand superior blade, and this comes with strength, vitality, and agility. And the passive skill for this is hazard attack plus 20%. So when a mob is hazard, when they're in that hazard state right there, you can do more damage to them. And final weapon you can get is the Heaven Striker. Pretty much the best bow you can get for normal raids, because it comes with strength, dex, and agility. And the passive skill which you really want to get is Hawkeye with accuracy plus 10%. So if you're a bow user, this is the best sword you can get for this moment right now. I would suggest you go with one with really good stats with Hawkeye as well to help you with accuracy. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all you can get in the raid and the whole routes and all that. But I'm going to show you now, for people who want to speed farm this raid, what the route is that you can take for it, the fastest route. So if you don't plan on if you don't need to destroy any crystals, or you know, if you don't need to get any of the other items from there, you just want to go farm for the ring or whatever you're looking for here, this will be the fastest route for you to get to the boss store. And like I said before, this is the fastest raid that you can run through out of all of them. So what you do is start off like normally again, except right here at this first crystal, you want to take a left up this staircase. Then head over in this direction. And right up here at the right, you will start heading downward. Come down this pathway. And as you can see, we've already made it down to the pathway that leads to the boss door. So this is pretty much your fastest route to get to the, you know, the boss's room for fast farms. So, and that's the fast route right there. So that'll be it for this video. That's it for the normal raid beginner's guides. If you do plan to do extreme raids, I already have full guides for those as well. But that's it for these guides. I don't think there's anything else I can really do for any guides or anything like that right now. If I can think of anything, I'll probably do a video on that. But yeah, until the next video, I'll see you guys then. Peace.